welcome to the MAQ TV. We have a special guest. We welcome to the Roshni Chasmawala. She is from New Jersey, and she has been done a lot of activities on cricket in USA. So we have pleasure to meeting up on MAQ TV today, get an experience finding out how she this girl's involved with many tournaments I've been seeing around it. So we like to know about him. So Roshni, good morning. How are you?
I'm really well, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me here. It's honestly a pleasure to be interviewed by you.
Yeah, this is my first interview I have taken, but I see Navam, you have been uh, during the many other places, been working for the TV and working with the medias and all other things. So I know you've been taking interview for even mine and many other people. So it's good to see it. We can take your interview, finding out
Yeah.
how surprises thing you do, and people can recognizing that. So tell me about a little bit about your backgrounds, where you live, and how, and then first finding out how's the area you're living in. They're doing COVID-19 during
Yeah.
the coronavirus affected to your area.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm in South Jersey right now. So for the past like 2 months, I've only been staying at home. Luckily, South Jersey, I mean, New Jersey does have a lot of cases, but South Jersey, it's not as much. I mean, there are some cases around. So we've been trying to be more cautious when we do go out, if we do go out. But now things are starting to get back to normal. Businesses are supposed to be starting to open. Even I think the beaches here is going to be opening this weekend. So I mean, things are going back to normal, but the cases, we'll see, if it decreases or not. So yeah, so far it's been okay.
Great. So the thing is moving in New Jersey, as you know, and then
Yeah.
basically watching the news, a lot of situation in New York, New Jersey,
Hmm.
because too many people surround it, and
Yeah.
they live in very close by a special major city, Manhattan, all, and you seen the news. Things are you've been good and healthy, and all
Yes.
about your family.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in the house is good as well. My grandfather, who was at my uncle's house, he's also back with us. So luckily, I mean, that was my only worry. If someone gets it, then everyone in the house would get it. But luckily, we've all been safe and healthy, and hopefully it stays that way.
So we're going to come back to more detail about COVID-19, but we people want to know, and we want like to know your passion. How is you started basically you migrated or you born in US, and how you been USA?
So I was actually born and raised in America. So I didn't even go to India. My parents are both Indian, they're from India. They came here, got married here, and I was born here. So I went to India for the first time when I was 8. But before that, I got introduced to cricket because of Hindi cinema, Hindi shows. So I was always, they would always have movies on and stuff, and I always got fascinated. I was always into sports. When I was younger, I was more like, I guess what we say is a tomboy. So I was always into sports, but I think cricket just fascinated me. One, because it connects me to my culture, and two, I thought it was really different. So I was always fascinated by it. When I went to India for the first time, I got full exposure to it. So I, was able to see people play cricket. A lot of the kids play cricket. So I think that kind of drove me. And from there, I mean, that passion kept growing and is still growing.
So you went to college in New Jersey, or?
So I went to college in Philadelphia. So it's the state right next to New Jersey. It's only 30 minutes from home.
So you have any brothers sisters? Or?
I have a younger sister who like is complete opposite of me. Nothing about cricket. Like nothing about cricket. Hates India. Literally, I like anything I am. She's a complete like 360 around. Yeah.
So, first time, do you remember how you got involved with the cricket? Because it's, as you know, the cricket is like second games in kind of
Yeah.
in USA
Yeah.
sports,
Yeah.
and how they become in your minds and passionately to involve with the cricket. Give me the first time they ever you involved with the cricket.
I mean,
What?
I was always kind of involved with cricket just for myself. Like I would watch matches on my own. I would teach my friends cricket and just play, at a park, but I didn't get real exposure to cricket in America until I got into college. So I went to Drexel University and we did have a college team. And because of that college team, I got to learn that so many colleges in America have a cricket team. And then I got to learn about club cricket and all this cricket that goes on that I never knew about. It's weird because I grew up in this country and I just did not know any of these tournaments were happening. Your tournaments were happening. I didn't know any of this until I was with people in college who had that exposure, who play club cricket, who play in these different tournaments. And when I became friends with them, when I was a part of them, helping their team grow, I was able to learn, okay, there is a lot of cricket in America, which I never knew. I was just, in my own bubble and, thinking that there's no cricket around me and I just need to like, do it on my own kind of thing.
So it's true that is the first time you ever involved with the cricket in college.
Yes, yes,
And
that's
then,
where, I learned it.
so first game you ever watched, first time,
Yeah. So
where and
yeah, so I do remember the first game was actually the college team. It was one of their regional matches. So it was my first experience of watching, cricket matches, seeing Drexel play. And that was my first ever game that I've seen live in person. Before that it was only TV matches. I've never been to a real match, before that time. So that was my first experience. It was 2 days. So, I watched 3, 4 matches and it was incredible because the team also won the tournament. So, I like thank the team so much because I got a chance to actually watch cricket happen with my eyes and that wasn't on TV. So it was a different experience.
so you saw the first time the game and is not feel like to it's like baseball and cricket is as a family games like
I mean,
similar to
so
each other.
they're definitely twin sisters, but I feel baseball to be so much more boring. Cricket has so much more there. If I think if the American public at least saw like, the T20, T10 version, they would be far more entertained than baseball. Baseball I feel like is very boring compared to what cricket has to offer.
So since you involved with this thing and you learn about a lot of cricket, and tell me a little bit about it. When you first time you went to the thing, there was the live games going on, or you just have to be on the TV. You watched it first game.
So I did. I got to see my first, I mean, well, before my first international match, I do want to say the 2018 US Open was the first time I got to see international players, live. So I remember seeing Sunil Narayan, Andre Russell, and many other players that I've, grown up watching on TV, play for West Indies, play for IPL, and I got to get a chance to do that before I even saw like a international match. So I think that was an amazing experience, seeing that high level tournament. I mean, I saw college matches, but seeing the US Open was getting that kind of international taste. So that was my first exposure to international players. And last year I had the fortunate chance of going to the World Cup where I saw my first international match in an ICC tournament.
So the first time I met, I remember is a few years back when you came in the stadium. I believe you were watching the first
Yeah.
games with Ali Khan, Jashkaran, and I seen them sitting in the VIP rooms. They introducing the fan of the cricket. So I surprised like there's people traveling just for came to watch the
Yeah.
games, and surprisingly it's good, but it's good to know that because it's not too many girls they are independently come in watching games and supporting, and I
Mhm.
saw this thing, so I was very interesting to learn about it. And people like because based of your experience you've been involved in the cricket, tell me what you seen cricket of USA has been development since you saw the first time, and you saw we met him first time in US Open, and since then you involved, and how you come and start with taking interview the peoples and also you
Yeah.
and going around the games.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, like, before it was mainly just college cricket that I participated in. So, watching college cricket matches, I did take like a few interviews for that because, people were like, oh, we need someone to interview. So you do it. At that time, I was not comfortable with myself at all to take interviews. I never was someone when I was growing up like that I want to go into cricket or I want to start interviewing. But getting a chance, like the last US Open was the first time I ever properly was interviewing any professional cricketers. There were so many former cricketers, current cricketers, yeah, that play in CPL, that played in T20, have played in IPL, PSL, and everything. So that was my first take on actually doing interviews, and that helped me also build my confidence, and that maybe yes, I can do this. Because before that I was like, I can't do this, I can't remember all these words, or be in front of a camera like that. So it was really good to get that kind of exposure during the tournament. That was the first time I got any exposure like that, that was professional and proper and with so many great players.
Yeah, when I first time I saw and I see the talent, and I believe, remember or not, but I said, Roshni, you can able to do a lot of host and
Yeah,
interviews and all. And you was a little bit shy back. You say, I don't know, and I does that. And then I remember India and West Indies game was
yeah,
here, and you
yep,
was doing the commentary during the
yeah,
times there.
yeah,
But that's why they built an experience, same thing like you have done. So
exactly.
you went actually step too high in US, and you have done lots since then. I can see in many places. So in passionately, you can tell if you don't play cricket, but actually you can promote the cricket has been
Yeah.
effective. So your
Hmm.
support is for the cricket world in USA is everywhere. I see in many places than Roshni. So give me your favorite players in USA, and who's your favorite player?
So in the USA team,
Yeah, you in
yeah.
US and
So bowler would be Ali Khan, and then batsman is Manan Patel. So those are my two favorite USA players.
so, how you describing that both of them? To tell me about it, so people like to know. So,
Yeah,
your favorite players, Ali Khan
yeah.
is a bowler and bats, and I know he very recognition these players.
Mhm.
Tell me about the batsman a little bit more, so
Yeah.
people know about it and your view.
Like, well, yeah. So I mean, with Ali, everyone kind of knows him. For me, I mean, it's just like the way he's kind of been able to come to America, then, start his career, right? Like when he didn't even know much cricket was going on in America. So the way he was able to go and do that is incredible. He's been a part of every league kind of almost, around the world. So I think it's really inspirational for kids to look up to that, that even someone living in America has this chance to go and play in PSL, go and play in CPL, and be a core part of the team. And with Monank, I mean, he played back in India as well, and then he came to America, and cricket was not something he ever thought he was going to do in America. But, he went to the trials, they picked him up, and since he's been with the USA team, I mean, he's definitely been someone that, has that technique that can really take him far as in many of the tournaments. So I think that's something I really like his playing style. So that's kind of why, whenever I'd watch USA matches, I kind of like that. I do like batting more. So sometimes I favor batsmen more than I do bowlers.
So you met Ali Khan is the first time is US Open, I believe,
Yeah, the 2018 US
2018.
Open, yeah. And I
So
remember, so before you ask your question, I do remember, like, I remember the 2018. I was like, I was so scared to go because I'm like, I don't really know anyone. Then I found one friend that I do know who was going to be in a team. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go, I'll support your team. But I've seen Ali Khan play as well in CPL and everything. And there were so many other players, as I mentioned, international players I've watched. So I remember it was just like almost a fan moment for me as well. I mean, for you, Ali Khan is just like, he's really close to you. He's like another son for you. But for me, it was like, okay, this is Ali Khan. Like he's right there. I remember he was giving throwdown Saya and stuff. So I was like, oh wow, this is Ali Khan. So I don't even think I spoke to him. Like I didn't even take any autographs during that tournament or anything like that, just because I was so like, is this real? It was so kind of memorable for me. Yeah.
yeah, I see now. So basically, first time you met me and as there, and I know I've been hosting cricket so many years since
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. How you feel about I have been working with the individual players and tournaments and all.
Yeah.
Tell me a little
Yeah.
bit more about it.
Yeah.
See how when you first time you met and you seeing is the very humble guys and
Yeah.
his come in and did I give you any advice or what
Yeah.
they are?
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember first when I learned about US Open, I saw a poster and I was like, what? This is a tournament that happens. And I look and then I'm like, this is like the 10th edition. I was like, where was I my whole life when this was happening? So then I remember I'm like, no, I need to go. And then I remembered at that time, like I had looked up and I was like, wow, he's done so much. There's so much going on. And I was like, this is amazing. Having a tournament like this with so many teams, which is bigger than any other league that's there. And I looked and I was like, okay, this started in 2009. Like the US Open itself started in 2009. I'm like, that's 1 year after IPL. Many other leagues, they started much later. So I was so impressed and I was like, okay, I was there. And then Jessica and was like, let me introduce you. And I was so nervous because I was like, I wanted to speak to you as well before the tournament happened, but didn't get a chance so that I could have maybe gotten involved there. So I remember Jessica and like introduced me to you and everything, and you were like, the write-off, you didn't even know me, and you were just like, yeah, we'll get you involved kind of thing. So that I think was just like, it shows that you've always been so helpful towards the players, anyone that wants to get involved in the game, anyone that has that passion for the game because you love the game. So that was something that I was amazed to see.
That's the beauty about US Open and my passion. I trying to be bring them the young and youth and also the promoting and talented hunt. That's the great platform for the US Open. So you meet a lot of people. So while
Yeah.
you here, and what your favorite things you have done during the US Open? Favorite
Yeah.
things you in Florida?
Yeah. So I mean, I remember the first year I just was as a spectator and I remember that final because it was like intense, with the Bears versus Somerset, and it was such an intense game. I remember that was like my favorite game because it was like, it came down to the last ball. I think they needed about 5 runs and it went to the last ball, and it was just, I remember almost like having a heart attack because you see these games in person, like on TV, but living that in person was incredible. And then last year, having that fortunate chance to be a part of MAC TV, to be a part of everything, seeing the out, like, the backside of everything, of how everything is worked. So I think that was, for me, was just, each day. Like I remember anyone who would be like, let's go out for dinner and this and that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay here until everything is over because I just wanted to like learn everything and just see how all of this works, and it was just amazing to see, like, how much hard work even all the staff puts in, how much hard work you put in. I always see you running around and everything doing like 10 things at once. So I think that was like, for me it was like each moment I got to spend during that US Open was just, because I love that, I love that crazy environment, fast paced, and that helps me get experienced as well. I got to learn so much just in that. I think you had me do some commentary as well. I did interviews and you had me like do so many different things as well. And I was like, no, I can't do commentary, but I was still put in there. Just like, no, I'm going to put you in there. So it was good. I mean, trying to get me out of my comfort zone as well and just learn so much.
Okay, the questions are one, when you first time you did the interview,
Yeah.
how excited be hosting then how excited are you or you were scared about it first
Yeah,
time?
it was, I think, 50-50. I was like excited and nervous. So I remember the first time I did the interviews was at the gala event, for the 20th anniversary. And I was just like, okay, this is gonna be so much pressure and whatnot. So, but it went well. I mean, even the cameraman and everyone that was there was like, you did pretty well. But I know at first I was just like so nervous and, trying to figure out, okay, what are some things I should say and make sure I don't get like, just stuck or something. But it went well. Luckily, I think it was just because, all the confidence you gave me and all the support that I had, from you and everyone else that was there just helped me kind of, okay, do it naturally.
Yeah, but I seen at the short time period, I met many since 2009. Many girls they play in U.S. Open women's,
Yeah.
and the way I seen of them, very short periods. You've been get experience involved with the cricket, know about it cricket, and actually put effort, your times, and I seen of them. The I believe there was many people they wondering how you get paid and to do all this thing up. Did you? I seen of them like in my MAC TV. I haven't paid and see you voluntary coming in passionately, and then if you involved with all this tournaments and travelings on the world,
Yeah.
so you will tell this thing up basically that she's a very talented learning and Passion Girls, and she is there, one of the kind I seen, and they have not seen many other girls because been involved with the cricket for last 20 years. First time I met you, and then other day, I think months before I was talking to you, I said, look,
Yeah.
Roshni, I want to take your interview.
Yeah.
So I just want to describe it to the people you involve, and you bring the lot of things cricket for US open eyes to others. So how you does that? We looking for many Roshni
Hmm.
in USA. So that
Yeah.
will be big help for the USA cricket.
Yeah. Yeah.
And first time you have done the interview. After the interview, you have what? Who's the first players you ever been interview live? First
So in what sense? Like the first player I ever interviewed, or
is a TV interview for MAQ TV interview. Do you remember the names of the person who you interview first one?
so I think the first player was, I believe, Just Karan. So I remember at the gala, I had interviewed, many other people, some team owners, and many of the greats like Prasad Sir from Canada, and some of, the people that helped bring cricket to the Northeast. But I think the first player I interviewed was Just Karan Manotra.
So when you do the first interview, do you know that all the questions for you ask them and been your
Yeah.
experience, or it
So
just came on your heads and minded and asked the question? So how do you
yeah.
came all the questions to first
Yeah.
interview?
So I mean, I remember the first one. It was, like luckily I do know like, Jessica Gunn's background. Like I had seen him 2018 US Open as well. So I was able to, just think of things right off the back. With interviews, especially live interviews, it's like you can think of some questions, but you can't just ask questions. You also need to listen to what they're saying and maybe give a question back based off of what they said. So I remember, I think I like, I wasn't too, I was like, and before they said action, I was like, okay, let me think of what can I start with and stuff. But then I just went and the flow kind of went. So luckily it went well. Yeah. I didn't really have too many questions prepared. I think I had one or two, and then we just naturally, just went the conversation on.
So basically, and whenever I involve with the project, so I research and learn first. Like
Yep.
I'm taking an interview today, and
Yep.
I said this first time experience I'm getting
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I look at Google was we can ask them the question
Exactly.
where,
Yeah.
but for me it's like been around so many years for the cricket, so easy to ask the cricket. But
Exactly.
been involved short time of the period you are, and you came with the great questions, great things. I seen some video about you
Yeah.
yourself taking interview. So when you talk Jashkaran Malhotra, let's talk about Jashkaran. He's a great player for the USA as a national team is
Hmm.
playing, and he
Yeah.
played one of the good asset for US Open.
Yeah.
You ever seen his the batting? The best
Sorry,
batting
see.
ever seen of him on the US Open?
I did. So it was that knock in the semifinals, 2018. Where he almost got the team through, but there was that run out. But it was amazing. The way he was batting. I mean, Jaskaran, he can be really deadly. If he gets going. And that match was one where he was completely. I mean, there's been some USA matches as well, but he's someone who can definitely, hit those sixes. He can play very aggressively as well as he gets going. And I remember that match because I was supporting the All Stars as well at that time. And I remember, it was so close, getting the teams to the finals, but there was that one run out that he had because he was playing brilliantly. Like he was just, going nonstop and he was in his flow. And then just that one moment, and I think it was a mishap as well, like that run out where he wasn't almost run out, but he was given that run out. So yeah,
Yeah, that was a great inning I seen him his, and there
yeah,
was a big star players against
yeah,
Andre Russells and all the teams, and he turned around that game's entire whole things
exactly,
to
exactly.
one-handed to bring
Yeah,
back to the winning side of them.
yep,
They was very close to win as the
very
point we
close.
seen of them they win, and by
Yeah,
his good players, and we highlighted for him, and we have, as you know, that all of them USA players who's been playing in USA, all of them involved in the major tournament is a US Open.
yeah,
And when we meet them up is a lot of players,
yeah,
and so excited to see them. They are playing and performance in other places of the world,
yeah,
CPL and GT20 and
yeah.
other leagues. PSLs has been played with also Ali Khan. So that's the moments you seen. He have hit it and big sixes and almost closes, and he lost the games. Uh, so you was favoring to the U.S. All Star.
Yeah, that year. I mean,
So
I
when
did.
you have the teams involved with something, if you lost and win, what's the moment you have your excitement? Moment to
Yeah. So
sadness or happiness when you lose or win in
So
the sport?
I used to be someone who, with games, I was very emotional to them. I think over the years I've learned, cricket is a sport where wins and losses happen. So now I have an approach where I rather see a good game. Maybe my team might not win, but as long as it's a good game, I appreciate the cricket that both teams have played. I mean, obviously there'll be some sadness, where if, the team I'm rooting for loses, I will be sad for a moment, but I think I've gotten a lot mature than I was. 5, 6 years back, I was like, I would cry. Like I literally, if India lost a match, especially an important match, I remember the 2015 World Cup when they lost against Australia. I was crying for a few hours. I was so upset. But I think over the years, I've matured and appreciate the sport. Where I'm not favoring teams, I'm favoring the sport. I want to see good cricket.
So the U.S. Open cricket, as you've seen, what
Yeah,
are you ranking and how many biggest tournament you seen in USA? Where you involved with, and then you
yeah,
seen of them. There've been stamps on professional leagues
yeah,
in United States, professional leagues in entire North America. You can
yeah,
consider Canada, neighbors, and
yeah,
here is West Indies. You've been around it and past a few years full times kind of I'm seen of them every day, and a lot of video I seen of them, your personal video which is like bubble tea I seen,
yeah,
and
yeah.
very good things and sense popping out things and some interview, great work I seen of from you. And so you got a lot of experience, you travel to the world, went to the different countries, see the crickets, and see standard of the cricket. Tell me about a little bit background, back history of the best cricket you ever seen in USA, biggest tournament
Yeah.
you've been involved.
Yeah. So in USA, there's no doubt it's got to be US Open, I think, if there's any league in the whole Northeast, it's going to be US Open. I mean, you can compare it to many other, like, you can compare it to all the other leagues that are out there, with the full-blown nations that play cricket. Because I know even, even when I wasn't involved with US Open, I had so many people messaging me from different countries, like help me get into a US Open team. And at that point, I didn't know much about it. Like it was even before I went there, like, help me get into this. And I was like, what is this tournament? And obviously getting exposure, I've seen that where even people in America, that is a goal. It's like they want to be playing in US Open. They want some team to take them there. And even people in other countries, India, Pakistan, like I have people who know me and they're just like, help me find a team. And I'm like, like how am I supposed to help you find a team? But that's what it is. So many people actually like just how, someone in India is dreaming to be a part of IPL. Everyone in USA that plays cricket is like, I want to go to US Open, I want to be playing there. I want to go play in the stadium, go play in the MAQ stadium and things like that. So it's kind of amazing to see that, because I've experienced it. Like I can't even tell you how many people have asked me, requested me and be like, help me get into a team. So that just shows, how people want to play in the tournament, and definitely it would be the biggest one. I don't think in US Open, I mean in USA or even Canada in the Northeast, there's a bigger tournament that happens than that.
So the US Open, the biggest tournament, but you have a lot of players contacting you and all stuff. And then is there got a reason why they are people want to be play US Open? Um, is
Yeah.
what the reason US Open is so popular on North
Yeah.
America?
I mean, definitely one, it's like the most professional league that's out there. It's very up to that international mark, Even last year, you had ICC officials come here as well. And then definitely, you have the cash prizes as well. So I think, that is a big factor as well. And it's just that playing field that's there. You get so much exposure, TV exposure, matches are played live as well. Clips are shown of the players, all that exposure people get, especially, someone in USA where they're not going to get that exposure anywhere else, barely any tournaments have any kind of, TV production or anything that's shown live. And then, you also have like a plus point with, having a prize as well. So it's like, they're also like any other tournament, any other league tournament. they always have something, for the winners. So, that always is a plus point and makes, any team owner, be like, let me have a team in there so I can, play the best cricket I can get. That brings more of a competitive side when you have, a big cash prize involved. So that's why everyone wants to play, because it's so competitive. You have to really be good to get into your playing 11 for your team and then be able to, make it to the semis and finals. So I think, there's no other competitive cricket that's out there that's this intense and where you see, such great matches.
So you are very excited. It's coming. I know it's COVID-19, the locking down everybody, and then has not been playing cricket much. But the tournament's coming up December 15th, and U.S. Open is the 12th
Yeah.
edition, and
Yeah.
you excited to be a part of them again this year?
Yes, definitely. I mean, right now, I mean, I was hoping to even be involved with something that would have happened during the COVID-19, like the MAQ T10 or whatever tournaments that were going on. Like last year, I remember I really wanted to go to the MAQ T10 and I couldn't, just because I was like, I had to budget on my own travels as well. And last year I missed like Rizwan's, century that he scored in a T10 match. And I was like, how did I miss this? And I saw clips of it. But it's like, those are the things that you get to see, you brought T10 to America, so that's another tournament that's there and another thing that, Americans might even fascinate towards. So it's like, because of this COVID, there's no cricket going on. So I'm missing out, luckily I have interviews that I do, but that live action and that cricket and being out there in Florida, especially, is something that I'm looking forward to in December.
Since you came involved with this, then you're part of the Cricket Council USA, been as a special guest always, and be a part of member there. You've been supporting Cricket for USA, and also national championship will gonna be happen this year also. During before, we just have situation is not clear with the rules and regulation from the
Yeah.
COVID-19 for the parks and all, and national MAC 10. We're gonna be host just before the US Open, so we can get the
Yeah.
talented chances to the people there. So, and let's go back to national championship. Uh, you have not been attend, but this is a lot. This is 6 years coming up for
Yep.
national championship MACD 10 and the fast version. So you have seen the national championship on the TV when you said the
Hmm.
Rizwan had made their.
Yeah. So I remember, seeing that and seeing it was just, incredible. I mean, Chima is someone who can, play those innings like that. And I was just like, seeing something like that would have been just crazy to see. I mean, he hit like, I forget how many exact runs, but it was on like 33 balls. He went past. It was almost, I think, 127 runs he scored. And it was just crazy. So, which is, that I remember, I mean, even the first time when I went to US Open, that was the first time I met Rizwan as well. So, getting to meet all these players that have played, for the Northeast, played for Canada, USA. So I think it was really special, getting that exposure. And after that, I mean, I got a chance last year to see, USA play live as well. So I think it was special to go to US Open and see so many players that, play for my country, play for Canada, play for the Northeast where I've grown up.
So, been involved with the cricket. What other sports in your life, or any sports, the first cheer you up?
So honestly, I mean, when I was younger, I used to watch most sports, like football, basketball, and baseball as well. But I think over time, it's just there's so much cricket that goes on that I honestly focus most of my time to cricket. I mean, if there's anything going on like the FIFA World Cup or, whenever the Super Bowl, when the matches get more, closer to playoffs, I'll definitely watch that, like the Super Bowl. But right now, I mean, it's mainly I keep my focus to cricket because there's so much cricket that's there. There's so much for me to learn. So I'm just like, I'd rather just focus on one sport because there's always someone's match that's always going on. So I'll tune into cricket.
So you're passionate about cricket now these days, or
I mean,
after
I've
you
been passionate for cricket, no, passionate for cricket for the last, I mean, at least 10 years where it's been just cricket. People are like, they call me a cricket freak. So it's definitely been cricket only. I play other sports, if I get a chance to. I love sports, but I think cricket I keep
so
my main focus on.
what is it lately in your mind about cricket?
Lately, lately, I mean, I'm just praying for things to go
Like
back
the
to normal,
sitting the homes and COVID-19.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I've been fortunate, to be doing interviews for MAQ TV and doing my own interviews that luckily I've gotten a chance to, speak to cricketers, learn a lot more about cricket, from all around the world. So luckily I've been very fortunate that, that is why the cricket is still there. But yes, there's times where I'm like, I hope there's something that happens, whether it be IPL, the T20 World Cup, and all these things that I were looking forward to. So I'm just praying that, something happens soon. But yeah, I know it's going to be a tough, 1 to 2 years with cricket as well, maybe even for me traveling, like, I don't know what's going to happen. So
Du-
that's one thing.
During the COVID-19, how are you spending your day in home?
So, okay. So honestly, right now, I mean, like, I'll say a normal day where I do have an interview, which has been more often. So I usually have to wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, get ready, prepare for the interview, have the interview. After the interview, I'll usually, maybe eat breakfast or something, or just relax for a bit, maybe watch something. And then, I'll just prepare if I need to do something for the next day. Then take a break, and I'll usually go for a workout. So I've been really good with that. I mean, I've been trying to do some activity, because I know it's going to be a long time, because I'm someone who likes going to the gym, but can't go to the gym right now. So I'll just try to stay at home at least for an hour, hour and a half. And then after that, I'll just get ready again and then usually have a meal of some sort. Sometimes I'll cook or sometimes I'll just eat whatever mom makes, depending on my mood, if I'm lazy or if I don't want to eat what she makes or something like that. And then after that, I mean, usually it's like more just preparations or reading or something like that, something light. Sometimes I have to help out my dad as well. So I'll do some, anything that I need to do for the business. And then yeah, I mean, right now it's been pretty busy where I've had like a certain routine where I'm, luckily I'm not like, there's not too many things. There's so many shows I want to watch, but I'm not getting the time to watch. So I think for me, I mean, COVID has been busy. I remember the first 2 weeks I did nothing. I just watched TV and I ate and I slept. So I think for me, sit and do nothing. I can do that for maybe a week or two, and then after that, I'm like, no, I can't do this. I need to do something more meaningful. And luckily, I mean, I've been really fortunate to be able to do that. And, maybe be able to inspire more girls in America who, maybe will be the next, will look up to me. Just like, how many kids look up to Zishan, look up to Ali Khan, look up to all these players that have done so much, just living in America, and will look up to me in that same way and, get involved in America, get involved with cricket as well.
So we find it actually a few of them involving the cricket. You are born, raised here in USA,
Yeah,
American actually you consider, and same thing. You're passionate about cricket. You, Mera Zishan, you have taken
yeah,
some interviews. Zishan is a born, raised here, as playing
yeah,
cricket. Is a truly American
yeah,
cricketers as born. They will encouraging. What you
definitely.
think they give encouragement to the others USA born players or USA born kids?
So I mean, I don't know what the system is right now. I mean, I know that definitely in the future, like when I see a lot of kids now who are part of, coaching camps and a lot of kids who are American born that are fascinated by the sport. So I've gone to kids practices before and seen that. So I'm hoping, that is something that's there. I think right now, I mean, with the USA cricket, I think they're still just working out things. So that's why, you do have a lot of players and you do have like one or like you have a few that have been US born and brought up. But I guess right now, I mean, hopefully that is something that's there, where you see a lot of more USA kids taking on cricket. It's obviously difficult because in USA, I mean, cricket is not a known sport. As an American, that's not a sport that's really recognized. So I think sometimes it's just hard for parents, for kids, to go that route because there's not much to offer. So luckily, the people who are talented, they get to play in the tournaments, get paid for the tournaments and things like that. But that is also a rare group out there. So hopefully, I want that to change definitely for the future players, for players who are born here, where they're like, I want to take on cricket because you have a sustainable salary that's also there, because obviously that's important. You can have the passion, but at some point, you have to do something about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for the kids. As you seen, our cricket council host youth US Open also.
Exactly.
You involved, you saw this thing, how
Yeah.
excited that one. You seen of them, the cricket young playing.
Yeah.
And I got so excited when I see them. They coming and actually
Hmm.
remember,
Yeah.
reminding me my kids was playing in the cricket and bring back on the
Yeah.
national scale.
Yeah.
So I interviewed a few of them, the kids, as a talk about it. They said they were very excited. They want to be part of a US Open. So
Yeah.
once you've
Yeah.
seen the first young generation involved youth US Open, how you seen this tournament is taking off in USA?
Yeah, I love the youth tournament. I really encourage that, there's more kids there the next youth tournament, because it was so, they were so adorable and the way they're passionate about the game. And even like, it was just really nice to see. I mean, they almost were even looking up to me. I remember a lot of them even like started following me on Instagram and stuff. And it was just so amazing to see, because for them, I mean, there were a lot of girl players as well. So I remember, they were talking to me, and, we were having some conversations and stuff. And it was just really nice to see, them being able to have that platform to play in tournaments like these, play in such high competitive matches, being able to play in a stadium as well. So, having those chances. And for them, they also love the fact that there were so many greats of the game just playing, next door, because, the tournaments interlined a bit. So they were all like, where's Ali Khan, or where's this player, because they always look up to them as well. So it was really great to see that, that these kids, they really respect the cricket that happens here, and that, they want to grow in this sport. So I want to see them, playing for their own country, and, keep that passion there. And obviously having tournaments like that, it keeps them going as well. So it was amazing to see. I remember that final last year, the youth final was also really close, where, one team had the game in their hands. Luck, Unfortunately, they lost some wickets. The other team got the upper hand, and it went to the last over. And I remember those kids were crying, and I had tears in my eyes, because it was just like, when kids lose, yes, I will get emotional, because, they were so excited, and it meant a lot to them. So having these type of tournaments, they love playing in it. They love traveling to Florida to play in it. So, it's something that they look forward to, and it was great to see that.
Yeah, when we growing the US Open, and we decided to the youth US Open is going to be
Yeah.
impacting, because I seen when we have done that, some of the tournaments we have youth US Open, we have the top of the player Browell brothers. Both they
Hmm.
came in, met the youth, give them some
Yeah.
techniques, so how you play and all. All the kids got so excited and came back to me,
Exactly.
especially parents comes thanks me, and you invited, and
Yeah.
this actually US Open the promoting for the youth. There's no cost to the team so much, and then also this is a big scales where they can meet them up. Like when I was kids and young growing,
Exactly.
I hardly have it
Yeah.
chance to meet the biggest players in the fields, and same field I was just watching on the TV. So this is a great opportunity for there. But I
Yeah.
seen them when I talking to you as a
Hmm.
USA college, American colleges cricket, and you has been involved with American college cricket, and a BIU experience and expert. You can be lead on two things I seen of them. You have a capability because the role model, basically people seen, you have connected to the, now these days many players, many excitement interview. So MAC TV and all, they always like to promote it. So college cricket, we hosted one time USA colleges, and we did T10 is 2005, T10 for colleges, and very excited that moments came in. And then I met, talked to you about it, colleges cricket, USA American
Yeah.
colleges cricket, but yeah, we call USA colleges cricket have been hosted, and Chicago College they win. We have scholarships there. So, what do you think the colleges cricket are moving forward, and what is the future for the USA colleges cricket, or American colleges cricket is the future?
Yeah.
Why so
So,
important for the scale of the cricket in
yeah.
US?
Yeah. So for us, I mean, we like, I guess about 2 years back, a friend and I started the National College Cricket Association, so NCCA. And I think the goals that we have was just to, promote more cricket with the youth. I think with youth cricket and just, the adult level cricket, the college is the gap there. Where colleges actually have cricket teams, if they're utilized properly, that, kids now start looking to colleges, looking at the cricket teams and choosing maybe even, a college based off of a cricket team, that being a factor for them as well. And another thing we want to do is also promote girls teams. So we only have, I think, two two women's teams, proper women's teams that are college relevant. We do allow any girls to play a part of the men's team. There's no, factor like that. We don't discourage it. But I definitely want to see more girls, be a part of it. Being able to have, full blown college world women's teams and men's teams that you can have, tournaments for both as well. So I think that's something I want to see, as the colleges grow up and like, just having professional level tournaments and maybe even at one point having an international college tournament. That would
So,
be really amazing to see.
so the question is basically, and that I know that the college cricket, you involved without their actually management skills, kind of. And people thinking you make
Yeah.
tons of money there.
Yeah.
You make millions, I mean, thousands of dollars. You made it on the sponsor, thousands of dollars. This and like same thing. I
Yeah.
got questions all the time. Mac, you're doing
Mhm.
the U.S. Open, make millions of dollars. Where you seen involved?
Mhm.
So we want to open the eyes as a passionately. How much money you made it on the college cricket? You make
Yeah,
tons of
none.
money.
None. Zero. All the money, I mean, whatever registration fees, whatever sponsorships we get, it goes all towards the tournament. If we do have a surplus, like we do tell all the colleges the exact, we show them the exact things of what happened, so they see it as well. But no, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that's not something that was in that priority. I don't think I'm really making money from cricket yet. So my philosophy is, the more exposure I get, the more I get. At one point, it'll come to me. If it's there, that maybe I'll get paid, to be a part of a tournament, to be in that host position and actually, be able to get money. But I think with cricket, it's something that I'm just really passionate about. And, especially when it's something with college level. I mean, I went to college, I know how hard it is. So I wanted something that's not, so extra. The cost of the tournament is just enough, for anyone to make the payments. They have to travel. When we have a national tournament, the college students have to pay with their own pocket for the flight money and different things. Some colleges do help pay for hotels and maybe car rentals. So I know, how hard it is as a college student. You can't be affording to, pay so much. So we wanted to have something that's low budget. And if we get sponsorships, then we give back, if we can find jerseys or whatever we can do to help, promote the game, having some prizes or something like that. So
So you
yeah,
spend
there's,
so you spend many hours, many days,
yeah,
and spend your times and efforts and all, have
yeah,
not make the money. And we just clear you passionately involved with this cricket. Is that will
yeah,
tell you that thing up. The Roshni have been spending days and night and hosting the tournament. His own traveling, on expenses has done. I believe that will tell you that thing up how helpful for the USA cricket, and she have been done short time of the period. But the
yeah,
tournament is not make money, and people
yeah,
thinks they make tons of money if they're coming in for the business.
yeah,
There's not actually you have to put your money and time from your pocket
yeah,
extra what
yeah,
you receive that thing up.
exactly,
And
exactly.
during the tournaments, when you even entire your life, what's the difficult times came to your life and how you handle that?
I mean, so for me, one of the most difficult things is obviously like that, my parents aren't really too happy about, my cricket passion. They're always like, you're American, why aren't you into an American sport? So they do have that, thinking as well. I mean, sometimes they do get proud, they'll share my interviews and stuff, but that's still there. So I remember even last year, when I went to my first World Cup, I made it a goal. I was always a fan of the World Cup, and in 2015 when India lost, I was like, I am gonna go to the 2019 World Cup. So I remember, in 2018 when I was planning for the World Cup and looking for tickets and stuff, at that point my family was like, we'll all go. And then we didn't get any tickets in the ballot, and I don't know, my dad was just like, forget it, like we're not gonna go. And I'm like, I'm going. So at that point I was like, I have money saved up, I will fly myself there, travel myself and go for the matches, because I was like, it was something that I had made a point to do, and luckily I did that. So I think that's always the setback is, obviously I would love to travel anywhere for any tournament, but it's like now I've started to realize, I can't just go to a tournament like that and just, spend my own money. So I think that's, something that's always difficult. I have to think a lot and be like, okay, well, am I going to get a lot out of this? That I can't, because, it's not a good way to see that. I can't just be freely, just traveling and wasting my own money in that sense as well. So that's something that becomes a little difficult. but I've been lucky enough. So I've been lucky, I have been starting to get a bit recognized. So hopefully that's not the case in the future.
But I remember that thing up. You came in U.S. Open last one.
Hmm.
Cricket Council support you, and even
Yeah.
believe they pay all your travelings and hotels, I believe, and has been paid you on those you're traveling.
Yep. Yeah,
And
they
this is the
did.
first time you ever got paid. I don't know, you ever got paid by organization with the
So
traveling you.
I did get paid. Yeah. So I did get paid for when I was with USA Cricket 2 weeks. So I guess that was my first like salary kind of thing. I with World Cup, I remember some of the times I was with Bharat Army, which is a group. So they did pay for some of my hotel expenses. Travel and all was on my own. But like they had supported me a bit. But the way you guys supported me was just, amazing. With all the travel expenses, and also providing like the car so that I can move around easily, depending on wherever I need to go to the field for the interviews and everything. So that was, the first chance where I had that was something professional that was there where, I didn't have to pay to get there. Like for the other role that I had to, pay to get there, even though I got paid daily, but it wasn't like a substantial amount. I just wanted to do it for the experience. But the way I got treated in US Open, being a part of the family, I think that was something that I loved, where everyone was always, trying to take, I think I was, one of the younger ones as well. So I remember everyone would always be like, did you eat or, take a break? Because I'm someone who does not like sitting still. I always like moving around and doing something. So I think that was just amazing, being there for a whole week and just feeling like family. Like there was no one that made me feel that I'm like new and like I that there's so much more experience than me. Everyone was just so nice and welcoming, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Cricket Council organization. We have people has been around since from the day one
Yeah,
I started. Some of them
exactly.
in there, and you become is a very good asset for the Cricket Council USA, a valuable personality, and have done for the cricket short time of the period, which is very honor you, and you have done that lots in the during short time of the period.
Yeah.
I will support that thing up to all the. That's what all about U.S. Open or Cricket Council, player huntings, talented player, not
Yep.
just players, employees, and all they working together. And this is a part of family, and you always welcome to a part of them, our family. And be a one time, I remember that thing up. You was going to out of country, and then Cricket Council willing to pay your travel expenses
Hmm.
to India to cover the IPLs if you
Yeah.
can. So that's the kind of thing we do at Cricket Council. uh, Tell me about something when you have what's your typical or worst time you had it in your life and how you resolved it. So is people get upset for many any other reason
Yeah.
in the cricket world. I know your parents is against you and not to be played. So is there a situation came in and you've been involved in management side of them, you're involved with this thing a lot of how you resolve the first problems you had, the biggest problems you ever in your life, and as a sports side of them, not the personal side
Yeah.
of them, sports side of them, how you take on.
Yeah. I mean, I think for the sports side, I mean, I think it's just some things that are there. I mean, especially when, I think with one thing, being a girl, being from America, that brings on a lot of challenges at itself. I think I remember, I went to New Zealand as well. And I think, I mean, luckily that's one thing. Like, I was so fortunate with US Open that everyone was just so kind to me. And even the players, a lot of players were so fascinated that that I'm like a girl who loves cricket and things like that, that they were also nice to me. But when I went out of the country and I got more exposure, people around the world got more exposure to me, I realized that this is going to be a challenge for me, definitely. I remember when I shot a video for this one team, like I was a social media anchor for them. So I remember, I shot a intro video about how I'm going to New Zealand and I'll be covering, the whole trip and everything. And I saw comments and it was like, your accent is fake and, all these random comments, why is a girl showing this? She knows nothing about cricket. Why do you just have a pretty face and this and that? And I think that is one thing that I realized is going to be a challenge for me going forward, that, no one knows my background. People in India, if I get exposure there or any other country, they're gonna, not realize that I'm American and my accent, I can't help it. I've grown up like this. So I think that was a challenge for me because I was like, it wasn't something I experienced. In America, I've been lucky. I mean, people are able to understand me and appreciate my passion. And I realized that outside of this country, that's not going to be there. It's competitive, and people aren't as nice and welcoming as they are here. As you support people in talent, that is not like that outside, when you go into any other field with where cricket is. So that was something that was really challenging. It's something that I'm still trying to work on, because I've realized that, yeah, being a girl, it makes it so much more difficult, I think, when you go into a sport that is more dominated towards males. So that is something that I've actually, tried to mentally cope, and not get too upset. I remember once I was doing an interview maybe 2, 3 weeks back, and I think I saw a comment somewhere right before doing it. And I was just so, upset. And I was like, is this really something I want to do? And then I was like, no, I have to not worry about what people say. I have so many people that are supporting me, and I'm fortunate for that. So that is something that's there.
Okay, what is the nicest thing anyone say about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been lucky. I think even the compliments that you had given me. I remember when I gave I think it was when I was doing some announcements with, to introduce the US All-Stars and the Multan Sultan, I think when they were getting one of the awards for being a semi-finalist. And I remember, I gave this whole speech or whatever to introduce them. And then after, you and like you had mentioned, that you did a really good job. And that was something like, especially because at that time, that was my first kind of take on, doing anything like that. Like before that, I had done that India West Indies where, I was not in front of a camera, I was just a mic and a voice. But, being able to do something like that, and then, you and many others around gave that compliment, that you did such a good job, and you were able to, like, think of whatever you said just off the moment. It wasn't something I had time to prepare because I didn't know I was going to do that. I was just there, and then, someone was like, okay, you introduce and stuff. So I think that was something, where after I was like, it helped me build my confidence. And, because of that, it's like whenever I have these difficult times and people, say something bad or, judge my cricket knowledge or anything like that, I remember those times that, there are people who, do believe in me and have supported me.
So, what is your cheering moments you had at during the U.S. Open?
Which moment, sorry? The
Yeah,
special cheering
when
moment.
you cheering, yeah. What is the cheering or cheers moment you have in your life? Means like during the U.S. Open.
So I think during the US Open, I mean, I think it was just, the honestly, for me, it was like all of it. There were so many, each day there was something new. I mean, obviously, you have different matches, and, just being able to travel to different grounds and, get so much exposure. I got a lot to learn from Vinod as well. I remember once we were, it was a bit windy, and I think it was because the matches were delayed because it had rained before. So we went out to the ground, and, we were just doing some updates and stuff. And I think it was just, it was really nice and lighthearted. So I think just the whole experience for me was honestly really special. I was like, I wish this tournament just kept going on. Going back was so hard because, it was so special for me. I think each day I enjoyed it so much. Even though, I would get to the ground maybe at like 8 a.m. and then we would leave at midnight. So, just being out and about the whole day, I did not even get like, I was not tired at all. And that just shows it's because I enjoyed it so much. If you have bad experiences, or if you have, if you don't like something, then you're going to be tired, you're going to be miserable. But that was not the case. Like, I think that whole week, people were just like, you know so I think it was just incredible each day, each moment. I was so excited to wake up in the morning and get there, even if it was early, and just be there the whole day. So yeah, I think each moment was special.
So, what is your favorite thing you're spending your money?
Okay, favorite thing to shop for?
It's not
I
have to
don't
shop. It's like
I,
anything you spend your
yeah,
money. Like
anything
a
spending. I
favorite
think
thing, like
traveling. I would say traveling. So I mean, yeah. I mean, I am a big shopper, but I think, I have used most of my money, I think, for traveling, and especially for cricket. So I think that is my best, way to spend the money that I actually enjoy.
I never met the person. The special girls have, uh, they don't like to spend money on shopping.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like yeah, exactly. Shopping is always there, but I think honestly, like, I think recently in the past year to two, I think I've realized, that I'm not so much into materials as much. I mean, I do love shopping. I love, clothes especially. One, I mean, it helps me with my anchoring role as well. So that's now, if I do shop, I kind of have that in mind. But that's, I mean, obviously there, but I think I love, traveling a lot more. I think using my money in a wise way. Where I get a lot out of it. The experience you can get from traveling, experience you can get, being at matches and stuff. I think it's, that builds memories, which, a purse or anything like that really can't do.
So, how do you feel your life was work out so far?
So I think it's honestly, I mean, I think I think of this every day. I'm just really, really fortunate. Like, I don't think anyone else, if they were to go the path I did, they would easily be able to do what I've done. Like, I was not, cricket was not something I wanted to do in a professional manner. I wanted to become a doctor. So after graduating, I took a year off, and that year off just, made me into someone else. So, I think I've been really fortunate that just in, a year, 2 years, like I've been able to accomplish a lot and I've been really fortunate.
So, what do you do for the fun? What is your favorite fun?
I'm not a fun person. I I think for fun, I just like traveling or just, enjoying my own time. I'm not someone like I like to be very closed off in this sense. Obviously for me cricket is like the fun. Anything, even if it's just watching a match, that's something. But yeah, I think I just like very, down to earth environments. Maybe just, traveling or being at a nice coffee shop or bubble tea shop because I love bubble tea. But yeah, I'm very someone who likes very simple things.
What is the vision you have it now, your future?
So I mean, definitely. I mean, I don't try to think too much. I think I have one or two goals that I want to accomplish, but I think I realized in my life that I don't want to plan out my whole future. I mean, I was someone that always, from a young age, I was like, I'll be this, I'll do this, and have these kind of future plans. But I realized that, sometimes you just need to go day by day. But hopefully, I mean, in the future, there's some things that I want to do. I definitely want to be a part of like an ICC tournament where I'm, whether it's a digital anchor or, anchoring for a tournament like that, hopefully a World Cup because I love World Cups. And then definitely, I mean, grow with my dad's business as well. So I definitely, grow in that business side, maybe go for my MBA as well. But yeah, I think those two things I want to keep in hand always.
So you said Cricket 59
Yeah.
is made it, and that Cricket 59 is the first time they played it. Um, it's good to have in your experience seen of how far the Cricket 59 be benefit for the youth and the women's
Yeah.
and
Um,
American
yeah.
sports.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's something that I think would be really good to, have more. I mean, I haven't seen, I haven't been to a tournament yet, and hopefully that happens soon. But I think that's, one definitely for women's in the youth. I mean, it's definitely something for them to get more exposure with. The way the format is, I think it gives you a lot more freedom as well when you're playing. I know you mentioned to me once, I should play as well. See, that's something that, it's not like that daunting when you look at the other formats, T20 or anything like that. The 59 version, I think, is definitely something where people can play and not be too worried about it as well, have fun as well and, still be playing cricket. So I think that's definitely a format that would be good, for one entertainment and definitely for, youth and women's and even men's, to be able to play the cricket and not be playing in the longer formats or something that's more daunting, with this, I mean, the first ball, it's like a free hit. So, you can just go out there and hit. So I think that gives a lot of confidence to players as well to be able to do that, on a professional level.
I remember there was Cricket 59. They start St. Martin. There was the
Yeah.
first
I
ball is
heard
free
like
hit.
everyone hit a six, like
Yeah,
I heard
out
like
of 12 of them, yeah, 12 of them, they made it.
yeah.
Six is the first ball. They made it.
Exactly.
And I have an experience like one of the appraisal guys, real estate appraisal.
Yeah.
He's American, Mr. Robert Hill. Never play cricket, but Cricket 59, he came and said, "What is this? I won't play the Cricket 59." There's
Yeah.
excitement for there.
Hmm.
And that also We have US Cricket Academy has been formed since 1999, and
Yeah.
for youth programs they allow for MAC Cricket Stadium. But and be a part of your cricket involved, and we want to go back to now for the person is not related to cricket council. Just think about it. There you are out there as a viewers, you need to give some your view endorsement, and which is basically as your part of things when you involve with the cricket. So what do you think the cricket council you seen in your words has been done for the impacted USA cricket?
Yeah. So I mean that's one thing. I mean, I want to say that when I was there for the last US Open, the 20th anniversary was going on. So I mean, that's what I was saying for me. I mean, all of this US Open Cricket Council USA, I didn't know much about it. Even though I grew up in this country. But when I got the chance to, be a part of it and see it, and especially at that 20th anniversary, seeing all the members, many of the members that were there who have been a part of those 20 years, hearing all their speeches, there were so many awards given as well. And then, the story that was shown as well. So, to see how much, that's been there in America, and one of the reasons why, cricket has grown has definitely, to see how Cricket Council USA has played a huge role in that. To be able to give that professional level of cricket, different formats, bringing all this into the country, it wouldn't have been able to happen otherwise. With IPL just starting, being the first, edition of T20 matches happened in 2009, and you guys starting, I mean, 2008, and you guys starting in 2009 just shows, that you guys had all these plans, and it was something that you guys, were able to do right away. And since then, US Open gets better and better every time, and the way different formats of the games come up, you guys starting youth US Open, and even working on women's cricket and stuff. So it just shows how much dedication you guys have towards the sport, how much Cricket Council USA has done to help the sport grow to where it has become now in Northeast. So I think that was an incredible experience, and I was so fortunate to be able to see that 20th anniversary and just learn so much about it, and just see how amazing it is to have people like that are in America and just want to see a sport succeed like that.
Did you ever search them up how the T20 start first time they ever, and you read it in Google's and search where the first time they ever been played? What's the T20 about?
So do you mean just in T20 in general? I mean, I know
Just
like I
T20 in
don't know that in
generally,
America.
when the first time they've been played, and how they come up in USA, and how they are. Do you recall?
T20, no. I mean, I know like the first ever international match was played in America, but I'm not too sure about where T20, I mean, first. I mean, I know it was something that happened much later. I'm not too sure when it started in America, but I know, I mean, T20 was something that they added on as a shorter format after, having the ODIs, just to try a spin off of.
I remember the T20 when I was starting 20 years ago. I have done the T20 first ever tournament called USA World Cup
Okay.
1999.
Yeah.
1999 is the Dania Beach highlight. That's why I involved with the cricket in the first time, because there was cricket is a short version games in for USA. So I
Yeah.
said that's the only way they can be promoted. And
Exactly.
our actually our sheriff departments and all they came along,
Hmm.
and they watched the game, and especially our mayor Jim Kelly, and
Yeah.
he give them the park called Dania Beach highlight. They give us the park, and they say we want to see the games. What is the cricket about? And we show them short version with the Jeff Miller was he brought the
Yep.
teams, and also there was the first time in Thanksgiving weekend. We
Oh wow.
especially the biggest holidays and families, and my even my daughter was very young, and my kids was young. We went the first tournament we hosted for USA, called USA World Cup,
Hmm.
and T20 we play, and they was excited. That's why they start
Yeah.
T20 first time. I haven't created since then. So we don't have the stadium. Since we have a stadiums done, we first one stadium is done
Yeah.
2008 when the IPL start. When the IPL start, and then IPL basically, and then we start US Open
Yep.
thereafter. But 2008 we did for MAC T20 we started, because the first stadium opening ceremony in 2008.
Hmm.
Um, Beyonce, that's the only sports I think they can be justified in USA because the time frame is short. And American don't spend as much
Yeah,
time on the sports, and especially they
yeah.
want to see the result. Then we come back along. You seen the T10. What do you think is T10 future for USA? What is the things that T10 is
I
the
think
future?
definitely. I mean, I think both the shorter formats definitely. I mean, with T10, I think that's definitely something that would capture the American audience. Like for me, I mean, on a personal format, I love Test cricket, but there's no way anyone in America would go and watch a Test cricket, you know? That is something that even nowadays, many people who play cricket, that is not a format that they prefer. But I think for the American audience, for Americans, definitely, T20, but definitely T10 is an option that's there. That short format, very quick and entertaining as well. Because Americans kind of like that. They like, just seeing things that are always happening. They're not very much into, just sitting there and watching nothing happen. So, they're not going to appreciate the sport. So they're definitely going to want to view something that's kind of fast and entertaining.
And the last thing is basically MAC TV. You see in our MAC TV, and especially COVID-19 during the
Yeah.
times people locked down the house, and MAC TV impacting. And you are the part of MAC TV from the few years now, and then you have done tremendous work, and you have done a lot of exposure. I seen of your interview, one of the very nice interview I seen of him, and Rizwan Chima, and
Hmm.
also you seen of Zishan Qureshi. You have the took the interview other days, and I've seen a lot of things moving up forward. What do you think the MAC TV does different than anything else for other TV, for sports TV, for USA cricket? Tell me about MAC TV so people like to know about it.
Yeah.
MAC TV is
Yeah, definitely.
cricket. What is have MAC TV impacting to the cricket in USA?
Yeah. I mean, I think in USA, there's, that is the only proper level of platform that's there, whether it be during this COVID, getting exclusive interviews, and even during this COVID, making sure that they're still getting things out, whether it be like telecasting live matches, from the past, you saw watch showing so many exclusive interviews from all around the world, so what's happening, one, with the COVID situation in other parts of the world, but getting to know the players as well. So I think that's, something that doesn't really happen. You don't really see that going on, in any other sports channels where they're taking the time to, focus on whatever they can do even now, even there's no cricket that's not happening, they're still able to entertain the audience. And I want to say that, the Mac TV family, I mean, they're really close, and the hard work that they do. I mean, I saw it firsthand, how much time they were spending and not even moving from their computers, and, just seeing how much, they're passionate about what they do, and just, the way they are as a family. That's something that I haven't really experienced, otherwise, where people are just, they care about each other so much, and they treat everyone with that respect and as if they're family, despite, how many ever years they've been a part of Mac TV. So, they made me feel like I've been there, for so many years and stuff, even though it was my first time meeting them. So it's, I still keep in touch with them. So that's really, amazing to see how they'll message me and be like, how are you? Or they'll see an interview that I did and, like, applaud me for it. So I think that's really amazing, to building those connections. But the way, Mac TV has been able to handle this COVID situation and still entertain everyone, even though there's no matches going on. I think that's something that's really special that others aren't doing.
Yeah, this is the MAC TV is only one of the channel where the truly American cricket has been playing
Yeah,
and watching, and then give him exposure, especially in your side of him. You when you taking interview, exposed to the players and exposed to the
yeah,
his good ability, what have been done for anybody. So that's good way
exactly.
to recognizing it. So thank you, Roshni, and I will tell you about the Roshni has been done tremendous work for the USA cricket and has been solely support himself and involved with the MAC TV, involved with a number of the tournaments, and been supporting USA cricket. Her vision is one of the cricket is going to be moved forward, American one of the stamps on one of the sports, and I'm so glad to have it meet him up, Roshni, and then she have been done a great work in the short time of the period. You've seen the effort, you've seen everywhere is she is there, and been taking around with the MAC TV and taking around Cricket Council USA, and she have many other passionately, like her own privately, she have been done successfully in traveling for the different tournaments, learn more thing about the short time period. We wish you good luck, and then also your bubble tea. We one day we will gonna have you bubble
Yes.
tea to drink,
Yes.
and we're watching up. And great to know you are passionately about it, many things, and wish you good luck. And then also always we welcome you be part of Cricket Council USA, part of there, but you're part of the cricket. It doesn't matter what format. It's not pressuring out. Is the freedom. That's what the Cricket Council about. Is anybody can join it. There's no pressures on those things up, and we give him experience. But really be proud of you, and you have done great work, and with the short time of the period, and you can be one of the example, a sample for others, youngs, talents, girls. They want to be involved with the cricket. They can read about you and then your history, how you started. So that will be give you background, your history, and there will be work for. Thank you so much for your being time with us for today and MAC TV. Hopefully we'll see you soon and USA National Championship and US Open.